Our last word is coming up here now. And she's a going. Britt Peter, give her a round. Come on, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Going along, getting along. Going along with a device in your hand, eyes riveted, thumb twirling, isn't quite as good as seeing an Ansel Adams developed print, the gleam of snow, the 9 tones of gray in a winter sky, or actually feeling the crunch of snow underfoot in the high country. Going along with a string in your ear isn't quite as good as hearing live music. Who can live without live music? Hearing Basie in the Longshoremen's Hall, or the local best grooving in a cafe. Feeling good, can you dig it?
Yeah.
Engaging the 5 senses while another poem builds in your head, wandering through the entrenched streets. Was that live music blaring through a store window? A flute cutting through cafe noise? And the flurry of hands over a conga drum, oceanic chords rolling, rising from a piano, a trio of saxes getting a little wild, the rasp and heartbeat on the beat, live drum motion from far back in a room. Feeling good, music heard in the street, a waning moon over the Western Addition, and the 6 bus arriving on time, how to get and go along in this frayed town in these terrible times. Listen to the distant wolves baying at the moon. See the ranch hound tear down the hill, bark gladly. Going out, a day so beautiful that roosters crow well into the morning. Gone are last night's clouds that predicted rain. What to do with a day like this? Football watching is not the answer. A good book would only create impatience. Stand on the deck then, absent clouds, blue sky, hang up a little laundry and breathe in. 2, I love the gibberish of feeling good. Tough luck if you don't understand it.
Yeah, I am taking a moment here to make a commercial interlude. Garrett, I was promised Garrett I would give him some time to announce this, so I'm going to do this right now. I was going to do it before we started, but I wanted to have him at least introduce this event so we can talk to you about that, and then we go to Antoinette's, right?
Right. Who's on deck?
Yeah, Antoinette.
And then
MOS on deck.
Okay, I am.
And then, is she gonna read?
And well, a week from Friday, Maker's Paradise Gallery at Berkeley and the College of Alameda Flab Lab present the Maker's Ball. Is a community engagement benefit for art and maker training programs. A costume party with prizes, art exhibit, raffle prizes, silent auctions, and scholarships. And there's going to be music by various groups, including Blind to Reason, Hyperdrive Kittens, Mohawk featuring Big Bib Savage as This Is Spinal Tap, and special guest Prairie Prince of the Tubes. There's also, and it's a Maker's Paradise and the Fab Lab are showcase people with artwork and other is by people with disabilities. And this is on Friday, November 1st at the Just Dance Ballroom. That's 2500 Embarcadero in Oakland. And the doors are open at 4 p.m. for a silent auction, and there will be a dinner at 6:30 p.m. And the $60 tickets includes dinner, award ceremony, and live music. So again, this is the Maker's Ball on Friday, November 1st, 2019, starting at 4 p.m. And tickets can be purchased through makersball.org. And there will be flyers available for anyone who's interested to pick up. And
I'm going to put those right here so people can get them as they like. Thank you, Garrett. And now Antoinette is coming on. Who's after her?
MOS.
MOS after Antoinette. MOS on deck.
October wind on page, pushing leaves up, out, about, God's whisper blows through.
Nice.
Yeah.
October wind on page, pushing leaves up, out, about, God's whisper blows through.
Nice.
Thank you. Wreck this place, formidable needs hold pleasure at bay. So I have to start this over, sorry.
Go ahead. Don't worry.
So, wreck this place, formidable needs holds pleasure at bay. Go figure, our world spears passion. Center sin dies every 24. Errors held in perspective recall how ease took control. Reckon good people open up to possibility without regard to outcome.
Nice.
Here. Zen master speaks in Oakland, free will, desire form his talk, monks wearing brown on stage, no difference, no separation, like plain white sheet of paper, sides do not exist alone, front meets back, sorrow holds happiness, the elements of what is not seen are inherently connected, standing in wispy white nightdress, strong calves kneel, lift black Labrador to sit to tame the wolf. Dear who you really are, and somewhere clamoring under the moon, leaping, falling, calling one another over a log on pebbled path, rollicking the darkness until there's nothing for the universe but silence and presence. Your lips, my bed, my home. Good night, silky, traveling love, till I find you of echoing meadow and these frogs beginning. And lastly, we forget to breathe in staggering heat, trees older than time, roots deepen for shade, floods and mudslides, compromise, pound down, soaked, mosquitoes thrive, fires burn across acres, winds push through dry land, soils fill dusty skies where we once walked, jagged ice melts home to polars, disappear to tiny coastlines, they die. Birds starve, seeds are few, burnt bark doesn't do. All beings scurry, we are creatures, rivers, forests, valued not by profit. Hazardous weather, extreme beyond time, she is calling.
Wes, and then Buford. Then Buford. La, 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 la. Oh.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name's MOS Mose, also known as Mostly Old Shit. Accompanied by Mr. Marks here.
Marco Harps.
I found you in the ruins of a burned out gas station when I stopped on Highway 49 near Downeyville. I was taking a piss. I heard a cry like someone was scratching a blackboard with their fingernails. No one was around. I followed you and followed your appeal. I found you alone, scared, malnourished, angry. Someone who would have abandoned you like this. I know the feeling. We did not bond easily nor quickly. You hid in the closet for a month. You pissed on every plant I owned. You took a shit on my bed. Your anger was displayed everywhere. I cried with you. You didn't chase birds. You didn't venture outside. You didn't care much for cat food. You preferred meatloaf. You didn't collect toys. You didn't collect friends. I was enough. About all you did was watch birds circling in the air in front of the kitchen window. About all you did was watch me reading and crying a lot. You never asked questions. You never raised your voice. You lived a quiet life. You made an impact, though. I learned to be patient. Thanks to you, Poems are written about you, not me.
Hold on a second. Make sure it's on. The plug got unplugged.
7 billion people in the world. I miss you the most. 30 ball teams. You will never see a game with me. Women's fashions change as quickly as stoplights. You will never grow out of your clothes. Relationships pop up and die on Snapchat and Kick. You will never know anything about social networking. You will never fall in love. You will never love anyone. In a dream, you introduced yourself. I'm Sarah, you said. I never saw your face again. We took your life. I will never forget you. I know I'm wrong. I know I'm wrong when I'm smiling, when someone says something positive, deodorant, cigarettes. When I ask for a cigarette, knowing I don't smoke. When my dog pisses on my leg, I don't own a dog. I know I'm wrong when I can't hear your footsteps. Your disappointment is disquieting. I know I'm wrong when your heart hurts so much your heartache breaks windows.
Let's move. And marker. And now the Buford who's after.
Garrett.
All right. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we got it. We're good. Okay. And you're framed perfectly, by the way.
Okay. Well, this is heavy shit here, so let's get into it. This is called Peace Vigil. Friday night, holding signs protesting the need for world domination. The need for world domination, warmonger following good guy who tried to clean up the mess. Current situation, sad, young wife carrying the banner of war at her bosom. Peaceniks don't allow the Eastern Bloc world to be destroyed while the man in charge touts KGB. Young women at the borders of destruction that treat them not bright but brutal. We hold signs that reflect love for fellow humans. All right, that was hard to read. Life and balance. This is a little happier. Everything on or in scale. Health good if I watch everything pretty carefully. Extra sugar, out. Salt, out. Caffeine, my one luxury. Alcohol, gone a long time ago. Never smoked. Love.
Nice. Words of wisdom. You're up, Garrett.
And after Garrett is David E.
Thank you, David. Give him a nice round. The well-regarded poet from the Bay Area.
I got some essentially retreads to tonight. First, it's called Going at the Theater of the Absurd. The Theater of the Absurd presents a work of colossal proportions, the show of the century that awaits all to come and see. An epic the like of which no one has ever been seen before and no one will ever see again. Live and in living color, a spectacle unique among all. Come one, come all, you must experience this gala. You must dare not miss this. Concern yourself about missing this presentation, for indeed you will not miss this presentation. It is impossible to miss this presentation. For you see, you and me and everyone else are a part of this presentation, for the audience and the players are all one and the same. For this production, now showing at the Theater of the Absurd, is called Life Itself. Yours, mine, and everyone else's.
That's right, go.
In prison outside a cell. Let's talk about a special kind of prison, one that's so insidious most inmates don't know that they're in it or know that they are their own correction officers. One's eyes and ears are more oblivious of their sentence than they would be to their own surroundings. The local color of the inmates and the language is as ripe as one might expect from a more obvious can. This is a jail that will never be on lockup, nor will it ever confuse orange with black. It is tighter than the most maximum securities and yet can be broken free from with a modest of ease. So come on all you inmates, ease your way back into the outside world and get off that there cell phone. Halloween Blues. Coming as the power broker, showing up as domestic or soldier, arriving as a delivery person, be it mail, milk, or plumbing, whatever. A doctor, lawyer, or officer, even in a native suit and tie and cap and gown, they think is a necessary part of living. Not to worry, you only have to wear 364 days a year.
Is it David Erdreiche,
Yeah.
our mini feature of the evening, presenting himself in living color?
Okay, so I handed out
And
a
then Marco,
handbill.
you're after him.
I handed out a handbill for Berkeley Broadway Singers, 23rd and 24th, and Saturday night, Sunday late afternoon, and I auditioned and got a part as master of the house. So I'm going to present that to you right now. And I'm going to try anyhow. I'm throwing it at poetry audiences. I haven't got it completely polished, but I'll work on it.
We love it.
Welcome, monsieur. Sit yourself down and meet the best innkeeper in town. As for the rest, all of them crooks, rooking the guests and cooking the books. Seldom do you see honest men like me, a man of good intent who's content to be master of the house, doling out the charm, ready with a handshake or an open palm. Tells a saucy tale, makes a little stir. Everyone appreciates a bon vivre. Glad to do a friend a favor. Doesn't cost me to be nice, but nothing gets you nothing. Everything has got a little price. Master of the house, keeper of the zoo, ready to relieve them of a sou or two. Watering the wine, making up the weight, picking up the knickknacks when they can't see straight. Everybody loves a landlord, everybody's bosom friend. I do whatever pleases Jesus, don't I squeeze them in the end? So it needs a little work. That's it. Yeah. All right. Skeptic, doubter, waiting for the fall. Pessimist, optimist, waiting for your call. If I could merely balance the seasons on a board, close my eyes and realize the drawstring of a chord, tighten belt or loosen blouse, I'd tell a tale of griffin, mouse. Tie fantasy to day, children's voices, schoolyard play, but sadly we are underserved. Greed and bigotry won't swerve. Blind justice scales from our eyes. Change the world or don't survive. This one is for our feature.
Oh.
Speaks for itself. Some still do it with aplomb. For some, it's the pits. Familiarity breeds consent. Others have taken separate roads in the wood without notice. They put on a brave face, but it's just a facade. For a very few, this ancient house is on fire. They light up the night, sizzle the morning, couple, uncouple. Flesh sags, eyes sparkle. Dear, could we please deliquesce, evaporate, and freeze solid again once more?
Thank you.
And this I wrote last week while sitting here. Poet pulls the hourglass through the eye of a needle, every grain a shot glass of asteroids, filching atmosphere from enclosed space. Camels surf the dunes and don'ts, shifting their 18 gears, teeth and cam, grinding Saturn's rings into gree-gree. Dead are grateful to live out there, stanzas in progenies as skeletal Eddie Harris electrifies freedom jazz dance. Do 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 ba ba.
Yeah, baby.
How many minutes? 3? Thank you.
Marco is next and Christiane is after Marco.
All right. The mighty Marco,
Here I come.
as we like to say sometimes.
Ready or not?
Ready or not?
Red eye or not? Etc. We
That's
sent for an ambulance and one was sent. That's by Bob Dylan, but that's not enough to where you have to know that.
It's all right. It's all right. We understand everything except
That's
that.
all the covers I'm going to do. All my covers have been cleaned and duly put away into my backpack and not put on my bed yet. I'm telling you that because I did 3 loads of laundry and I feel very proud of myself on Sunday. At the new laundromat I must use
Really?
if I want to have clean clothes within parameters of my abode thereof forthwith. Locating now the harmonica that I used previously moments ago, I shall now perform the poem, not the harmonica, and tell you about these lovely schmutz on the lovely schmutz, saxophone man, on my pantalones, briefly. These pants are made of hemp, and they now have hemp oil on them. And that's all I'm going to say about it until next week, when you'll know a couple more dribbles about it. To the theme, more or less. To quote the sandwich, not sandwich, sandwich store owner, whose name was and is Sam, of Sam's Sandwiches, but he spells it sandwiches, but once you eat one of his sandwiches, you'll know what I mean. If you don't, then I'll have more to myself. Sam of Sam's Sandwiches said to mine waiting, wondering eyes, after he said one word, which was life. And then, after the most pregnant pause these eyes ever saw, so I'll get it. Life, it'll kill you.
Yeah, I tell you.
This has been yet another public service announcement, and now I shall get behind my shady spectacles and make a spectacle of myself away from the mic because it's, I wrote this song about 100 years ago when the first bush was in our orifice. I'm gonna do it real fast, so here it comes. Well, the Grateful Dead said red and white and them blue suede shoes. Hell, you can't call my mess them same old new U.S. blues. I am Uncle Scam, that's who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out in the swamps of Vietnam and in the sandwich of damn. I make you believe I killed Bin Laden and his son. Then like Nixon of old, I'll beg your pardon, I am Uncle Scam. That's who the hell I am. And I just don't seem to give a good goddamn. I will blind your mind, you will believe I am kind. I'll poison all your waters and your unborn sons and daughters. I'll steal your women's voices, rob all your choices. Then I'll take your taxes. That's what the facts is. I am Uncle Scam. That's who the hell I am. What's it gonna be? In this wild world of me, hate or harmony, peace or insanity, friend or enemy, I am Uncle Scam, that's who the hell I am, and I've been hiding out in your rockin' soul band. Peace train, baby.
Then Sharon, right?
Christian, Alex D.
Oh, Christiane, then Alex. All right. Where is Alex? All right.
Right there.
All right. Okay.
Mr.
Are you?
Christian.
Second. Okay. Otherwise, we'd have to.
Really?
All right. There we go.
Two short poems.
Get rid of it on the mic.
They both had,
There you go.
both of these poems had separate influences. One was influenced by a book written by a Trappist monk friend of mine about a beguine, or a cloistered nun who lived in the 12th century, who had usually 2-day-long affairs with Christ. Actually, in 900, they lasted around 2 weeks. The other one was inspired by a place outside of Clarksdale, Mississippi, in which I lived. And the title, the name of the place reminded me of the 50s, when young men used to brag about shacking up for a couple of days and several ejaculations. See if you can figure out which was influenced by which. The name of the place outside of Clarksdale, it's a wonderful place to stay. They're renovated original sharecropper shacks, and it's called Shack Up. And you can live in a sharecropper shack. Star Eyes, savvy and nubile, nymph in waiting, is puttering around in the modest garden behind her family home. A virile stranger appears who resembles a depiction of an ancient vase satyr she had downloaded. Spellbound by his unrelenting gaze, she follows him into the tool shed. The roof could not contain the shaft of blue light that soars beyond the clouds. The abiding enchantment of that initial communion emboldened her further endeavors, although that first primal encounter with the sorcerer would be her last. In the name of Marjorie Main, sublime toned hark matter resonating in Emmanuel's mind with blue neon Villa Sintra sign, angel gut harp string tone, heralding ascendancies of unadorned desire, remnant of Marjorie's sister's visit, Emmanuel there for her and selflessly there in her, as he has been for Marjorie's friend, his deep breath having surged steadfastly, delighting in that familiar ecstasy.
I just spent a week in the wilderness and wrote a poem.
You're really close to it.
The first share is about that. The second one is about the wilderness in my mind.
There you go.
Just as then, now, beneath sky so pale, angled sun rests on polished stones, flickering silver. Confined in a hallway of granite, each canyon, pine and fir terraced ledges, knobbed, rock outcropping blasted through time, boulders lay strewn about, cracked, open, a yoke of dawn's sun prematurely washes out cliffs of peach bleached stone. Frozen heart idols, eroding fine grit, silently shudder. Ice flows trapping time under, immense weight gouging out soft earth, heaving skyscrapers of stone, pushed forward by kinetics, life existing but dormant, damp, utter darkness. Aggression, only witnesses are the passing clouds. Above an etching landscape, stones sculpted and cast, gravity lost between crevices, translucent blue. Only shadows move from rim to rim, spilling over steep cliffs, give way to walls, golden, rays still hold dominion in this range of light. This is the wilderness of my mind.